Hello everyone, welcome to my presentation. I am dealing with the course of Power Plant Engineering. In that topic is environmental considerations. The outline of my presentation is problems on economics of power plant and environmental consideration in various power plants. Some of the problems on economics of power plant are explained in this presentation. In the first problem is, a central power station has an annual factors as follows. Load factor is equal to 50%, capacity factor is equal to 40%, and the use factor is equal to 45%. The power station has a maximum demand of 15,000 kilowatts. Determine annual energy production, reserve capacity over and above the peak load, hours per year not in service. So this is the problem. In the problem description, it was given that a power station with a load factor 50%, capacity factor 40%, use factor 45%, and the maximum demand is 15,000 kilowatts. So we have to calculate the three parameters. In that, first one is annual energy production. For the calculation of annual energy production E, we have to know the average load. For calculating the average load, it is determined from the formula load factor. Load factor is equal to average load by maximum demand. By substituting the values of the load factor and the maximum demand, we will get the average load as 9,000 kilowatts. So annual energy production produced is equal to average load by number of hours, time in number of hours per year, that is equal to 8,760 hours. So by substituting these values, we will get the annual energy produced E is equal to 78.64 into 10 to the power of 6 kilowatt hour. And the reserve capacity over and above the peak load. Before calculating the reserve capacity, we have to know the reserve capacity C. It is calculated from the formula capacity factor. So capacity factor is equal to E into C by C into T. Sorry, E by C into T. So we have to calculate the reserve capacity C. So by substituting the values of capacity factor at 0.4 and annual energy produced is equal to 78.84 into 10 to the power of 6 kilowatts, and time in hours per year is equal to 8,760. So by substituting these values, we will get the reserve capacity is equal to 22,500 kilowatts. So reserve capacity over and above the peak load is equal to reserve capacity minus maximum demand, that is equal to 75,000 kilowatt. And third one is number of hours not in service. So we have to know the total number of hours for the capacity. It is calculated from the formula use factor is equal to annual E by C into T1, that is equal to total number of hours for a power plant T1 is equal to 7,786 hours. So hours per service not in use is equal to total number of hours in a year minus number of hours that the power plant produces, that is equal to 974 hours. And the second problem is the annual peak load factor on a 30 megawatt power station is 25 megawatts. The power station supplies the load having the maximum demand of 10 megawatts, 8.5 megawatts, 5 megawatts and 4.5 megawatts. The annual load factor is 45%. Determine average load, energy supplied per year, diversity factor and demand factor. So this is the problem. In the problem, it was given that the capacity of the power station is 30 megawatts and the maximum demand is 25 megawatts, and the power station's maximum demands of individual supply is 10 megawatts, 8.5 megawatts, 5 megawatts and 4.5 megawatts, and the annual load factor is 45%. So we have to calculate the average load. For calculation of the average load, we have to look. It is calculated from the formula load factor. We know that load factor is equal to average load by maximum demand. So average load is equal to load factor into maximum demand. By substituting the load value and the load factor and the maximum demand, we will get the average load as 11.25 megawatts. And second one is energy supplied per year. Energy supplied per year is equal to average load into number of hours in an year. So average load is equal to 11.25 kilowatts and number of hours in a year is 8760. So we'll get the energy supplied per year is equal to 98.55 into 10 to the power of 6 kilowatt hour. Since the value is given in the megawatts. Third one is the diversity factor. So diversity factor is equal to sum of individual maximum demand by simultaneous maximum demands. So sum of the individual maximum demands is 10 plus 8.5 plus 5 plus 4.5 and the simultaneous maximum demand is 25 megawatts. So by substituting these values we will get the diversity factor as 1.15. And the third one is demand factor for the power station. Demand factor for the power station is equal to maximum load by connected load. So maximum load is 25 and the connected load summation is given here. And so by substituting these values, we will get the demand factor for a power station as 0.89. And the third problem is the load on a residential consumer for a day was given as follows. From 12 midnight to 5 am, there is no load. From 5 am to 8 am, 120 watts load. From 8 am to 9:30 am, 540 watts power consumed. From 9:30 am to 11:30 am, the power consumed is no load. And from 11:30 am to 2 pm, the power consumed is 480 watts. From 2 pm to 3:30 pm, there is no load. From 3:30 pm to 5 pm, the power is 120 watts. From 5 pm to 6:30 pm, the power consumed is 360 watts. From 6:30 pm to 9 pm, the power consumed is 480 watts. From 9 pm to 12 midnight, the power consumed is 120 watts. Calculate energy consumed and load factor. So this is the given data. Energy consumed per day is equal to power produced per time into number of hours. From 5 to that is equal to from 5 am to 8 am, the power consumed is 120 watts. So 120 into from 8 am to 5 am, the time difference is 3 hours. So 120 into 3 plus 540 into the time difference from 9:30 am to 8 am is 1.5 hours. So 540 into 1.5. So by substituting the remaining values, we will get the energy consumed per day as 4470 kilowatt hours. So average load per day is equal to energy consumed per day by 24 since we are considering a day. So 4470 by 24. We will get the average load per day is equal to 186 watts. And the maximum demand is equal to 540 watts. Since in the power consumed, the highest value is considered as the maximum demand. So in this given from the given data, the maximum value is observed as the 540 watts. So load factor is equal to average load by maximum demand. So average load per day is equal to 186 watts and the maximum demand is 540. So by substituting these values, we will get the load factor as 0.34. The load factor is always less than 1. And next one is environmental aspects. The power plant pollution is the major concern for the environment. There are two major problems from fossil fuels and from nuclear power plants. From fossil fuels, the pollutants released are sulfur oxide, nitrogen oxide, carbon dioxide, thermal pollution and particulate matter. From nuclear power plants, the pollutants released are radioactive waste, radioactive release and thermal pollution. In that, the pollution from the thermal power plants. Besides the pollution, such as lead and hydrocarbons are contributed by the automobiles. Lead is the most dangerous metal that releases a lot of toxic metals. The air polluted in a large measure is caused by the thermal power plants burning conventional fuels such as coal, oil, or gas. The combustible elements of the fuel are converted into gaseous products and non-combustible elements converted into the ash. Thus, the emissions can be classified as four types: gaseous emissions, particulate emissions, solid waste emissions, and thermal pollution or waste heat. In that, first one is gaseous emissions. The gaseous emissions, the various gaseous pollutions such as sulfur or dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, oxides of nitrogen, and carbon monoxide. And these pollutants has to be controlled by the various environmental equipments. And second one is particulate emissions. The particulate emissions in power plants using fossil fuels is the easiest to control. Particulate matter can be either dust, which does not settle down on the particulates with a diameter of more than 10 microns, which settle down to the ground. The particulate emissions can be classified as smoke, fumes, and fly ash. In smoke, it composes of a stable suspension of particles that have a diameter of less than 10 microns and are visible. And next one is the fumes. These are very small particles resulting from the chemical reaction and are normally composed of metals and metal dioxide. And next one is the solid waste emissions. From the fossil fuel, power plant considers a amount of the solids in the form of ash is discharged. This ash is removed as bottom ash or surge from the furnace. The fossil fuel fired system also discharges solid waste such as calcium and magnesium salts generated by absorption of sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide by reacting with the limestone. And next one is the thermal pollution. Discharges of the thermal energy into the water is commonly called as the thermal pollution. Thermal power station is invariably will have to discharge enormous amount of the energy into the water, since water is one of the medium largely used to condensate steam. If this heated water from the condenser is discharged into the lakes or rivers, the water temperature goes up. The ability of the water to hold dissolved gases goes down when the temperature increases. At about 35 degrees centigrade, the dissolved oxygen will be so low as that of the aquatic life will get reduced. Means the aquatic life get affected due to the thermal pollution. One of the government regulations states that the maximum temperature of the outlet water should not be more than 1 degree centigrade than the atmospheric temperature. And some of the measurement methods to reduce the thermal pollution are construction of a separate lake, cooling ponds, and cooling towers. Next one is the pollution from the nuclear power plants. The various types of pollutants from the nuclear power plants are radioactive pollution, wastewater from the reactor that is solid, liquid or gases, and thermal pollutions. In the radioactive pollution, the most dangerous and the serious type of the pollution due to the radioactive elements and the fissionable products in the reactor, and waste from the reactor. Due to the nuclear waste, reactor waste, mixtures of the various beta-gamma radiations emitting in the isotopes with the various life cycles are produced, which are be neutralized by the chemicals. And the thermal pollution, which we are discussing in earlier, and some of the methods of storage or disposal of radioactive waste materials are discussed below: storage tank, dilution, sea disposal, atmospheric dilution, and absorption of sea. In storage tank, the radioactive waste can be buried underground or in corrosion-resistant materials. In dilution, after sorting, low energy levels are diluted either with solid or liquid. And in sea disposal, the dilution can be used by diluting the waste by the method of the used by the British. In atmospheric dilution, this method can be used for gaseous reactive waste, but solid waste and the gaseous waste must be filtered. And the absorption by the sea. Fusion reactions are disposed by the Smith